AOC couldn't even bluff her way through confidence this time.
I'm sorry, I'm just having a tough time. And so we are looking, and so we're...
What should have been an easy slam dunk on a bank CEO turned into a full-on faceplant as the Democrats' favorite rising star tripped over her own questions. That's why today we're unpacking this whole mess, because we don't do party cheerleading, we do common sense. So if your brain runs on independent thought, smash that subscribe button and let's dive right in.
For your awareness, your banks have opted out of Paycheck Protection Program forgiveness,
Excuse me, that is incorrect.
With the portal with the SBA. Thank you. I was trying to finish my sentence. Now, I would like to zero in a little bit on Bank of America. Mr. Moynihan, are you aware of how many PPP loans your bank has facilitated on behalf of its customers?
About 400, almost 500,000, and 95% are forgiven or repaid already. Mm-hmm. And we're finishing up the rest of them.
How many of those loans, in terms of the percentage, have those loans been forgiven in full?
Here's the quick backdrop. The Paycheck Protection Program, or PPP, was a $670 billion lifeline cooked up under the CARES Act to keep businesses alive during the pandemic. The deal was straightforward: hand over cash so companies could keep workers on the payroll, and if the money went to approved expenses, the loan got forgiven. Easy, right? Well, according to a widely cited study, PPP did save about 3 million jobs per week in Q2 of 2020 and roughly 1.75 million per week by Q4. But same study also pointed out that the program was pricey and, surprise, surprise, a fat slice of that pie ended up in business owners' pockets. But hey, that's a rabbit hole for another video. The reason AOC was grilling on this in the first place: a few banks, including Bank of America, were allegedly playing stingy with forgiveness, claiming some businesses had gotten too much. Only problem? She wasn't ready for the pushback, and her cross-exam slowly started looking like an unplanned comedy skit.
Bank of America had pre-populated a forgiveness amount in their portal, sometimes drastically lower than small business owners had anticipated and had qualified for. And in instances where these small business owners have documentation, there's very little recourse or appeal. Does your portal make it easy to appeal their decisions so that after 2 attempts, the SBA can then take over the case?
Borrowers can appeal. 95% of loans are forgiven and repaid today, so we're only talking about 5% of loans, and a substantial part of those are going through the appeal process as we speak. And so the borrowers can appeal, and we're in the process of finishing up that last 20,000 or so loans.
Now sure, the CEO kept it cool, but let's not pretend this was some throwaway issue. Bank of America literally got slapped with a lawsuit over it. If AOC had done her homework, this was the golden ticket moment to grill him and walk out a headline machine. Instead, she basically karaoke'd an article from The Intercept, word for word, but tried to sell it like she cracked the case herself. That's the energy we're working with here. From the second she sat down, you could tell she came hunting for a viral clip. The tone, the posture, it was all "watch me drop the mic." She clearly thought she'd bag a slick gotcha or two and ride the dopamine wave of Twitter applause as the people's champion. Spoiler alert, that script went straight to the shredder. And if you think what we've seen so far was cringe, buckle up. Because her next question was a full-on plot twist.
So is the 90, I apologize, not to, belabor the point, but is that 95% a partial loan forgiveness or a full loan forgiveness rate?
They're getting what the borrowers are applying for the forgiveness entitled in the program. 95% of them have gone through or repaid, and the vast majority of them are full forgiveness, but they're entitled to what the program designed. The government designed a program, and we implemented the program very short notice. 500,000 people, 10,000 people working on this program. And so we're finishing that up. It's just let the process go, and a lot of what you're reading, frankly, is not the facts because it's old. It doesn't understand how the math works, and so just give us some time, we'll give you the facts.
We're always told banking math is just too complicated for us mere mortals, but this was one of those rare times where a sharp, prepped lawmaker could have cut straight through the smokescreen and slammed it home. If AOC had done even the bare minimum of prep, she could have cracked open what Bank of America was really pulling. Instead, she tripped over her own shoelaces and fumbled it away. And honestly, this isn't her first rodeo of missed chances. Remember when Mark Zuckerberg sat in the hot seat after the Cambridge Analytica fiasco? AOC tossed out a bunch of loosely tied questions about Facebook's ad policies, and Zuck just parried them with vague non-answers like he was swatting flies. Yet somehow people called it a win. Spoiler, it wasn't. No answers, no accountability. Just a lot of noise dressed up as progress. Flash forward to this latest hearing. Alexandria was already running low on steam. Then she hit that moment, the one that felt less like a power move and more like her brain just blue-screened.
What is the reason that Bank of America chose to opt out of the SBA portal?
Whether, I told you before, I'm not sure we did or didn't, and I have no idea why they would have made the decision, but we are processing loans as fast as anybody.
Okay, and I'm sorry, I'm just having a tough time. This is about $25.2 billion in loan amounts in your bank, correct? And
Not anymore. No, it's down.
but at one point in time. And so we are looking, you're uncertain as to why the bank has not chosen to enroll in the SBA portal?
I said we will get you the information. The amount of loans we have left on this thing is a billion or so. It's down to very little amount.
No worries.
It's all paid back.
And if you think I'm being too hard on her, even fellow commentators on the other side of the aisle have pointed out this pattern. Take a look at what Bill Maher had to say on his show.
What do you think of the fact that the people who are getting the big crowds right now are AOC and Bernie Sanders? They're going around the country. Thank you, there's that same guy. I call him the always wrong guy. Okay, but I feel like, big crowds, again, the shiny object that the Democrats chase it's not about the big crowds that come out to you when you're talking in a festival or wherever they are. I think it's because I think Bernie showed up at Coachella. That must have been fun for the fans. It's who shows up on Election Day. And I just don't see that's the ticket. I mean, Cory Booker, I know you've worked with him. I like Cory a lot from my home state of New Jersey. Made a speech for 25 hours. Again, just whacking each other off. This is just not what's going to get the job done.
That's the kind of brutal honesty we need more of. And when you look at that hearing now, it's a perfect microcosm of why Congress is limping along today. The place is so dysfunctional that even passing a basic spending bill turns into a last-minute circus act. Lawmakers weren't on board until the very last second, and that's not governing, that's just clinging on by the fingernails. Which raises the bigger question. If we're serious about getting this country back on track, doesn't the reset have to start with Congress itself? Sure, it wouldn't be simple, but that's the heart of the issue. Because when a sitting lawmaker can't wrap their head around how banks actually work, after those same banks helped fuel one of the biggest financial disasters in recent history, that's more than just one person's blind spot. That's a warning sign. So where does that leave us? Maybe Congress changes, maybe it doesn't. But either way, the direction things are headed is worth asking about.